Alright, so it's hot as crap. I'm in the 240. I got a vibration in this clutch kit. I've tracked it the best I've been under it. The best I can find it is it's somewhere in the disc. Hopefully it's not the shaft on the transmission. To me it sounds like one of the either the springs in the clutch disc have came out, or possibly the throwout bearing's got an issue. Or not the throwout bearing. Yeah, maybe the throwout bearing. I don't think it is. But it's got some kind of, and it's not doing it all the time, some kind of rattle, like maybe the clutch disc isn't getting centered or something's in a bind somewhere. But it's not doing it right now. It feels okay most of the time. It's just got something. I do know the motor mount, both sides, they're just like a slit in them. The whole motor twisted a little bit, and now it's sitting on the steering. So the motor itself twisted and is sitting down, and so it's vibrating the whole car a little bit. But it's sitting on the steering rack itself. The whole engine's set down on the steering rack, so I'm got to adjust that and get it set up higher. Maybe turn the whole motor loose and jack it up, try to reset the motor mounts. But the slip down this way, the motor keeps like rocking back and forth. It's just the cheap eBay mounts. I guess that's the problem with them. But I've got that done, or I've got to go in and do all that, whatever. And I don't know what's going on with the clutch. Like I say, it started it when we unloaded it from the tuner. It didn't do it while it was getting tuned. It didn't do it on the dyno. It didn't do it until we offloaded it here, and I was bringing it in the shop, and it did it. It feels, you can feel it in the pedal. It's vibrating. It almost feels like there's something in there, like there's something between the disc or something. I don't know. Maybe a bolt backed out or something. If it keeps doing it, I may have to pull the transmission and see what's going on. But I'm going to try to do my BMW first, I think. So I don't know. That's where I'm at with it. It's still running. Temperatures look good. Sounds good. Throttle's up good. I can feel the vibration in it sitting on the steering rack, but yeah, the flywheel and stuff, it almost feels like it's out of balance, and that's for a bad day if that's what's going on. So I'm getting a vibration in with the clutch out. I'm definitely getting a vibration. Yeah, it almost like there's something wrong with that clutch kit or whatever. But with the clutch in, I don't feel it as bad. The disc or something's out of round or loose or something. You can hear it making a little bit of noise there. I don't know. A little nervous now. But the motor runs good. It's got a lot of vibration in it. We'll put it in gear here. There's that noise. No, went away. So yeah, I've got to track down what that noise is at some point. But I'll probably just park this car now that it's at least mobile and runs. I'll just push it to the side and bring my BMW in, change the clutch, and then start on the IS300. I think that's where I'm at with everything. This car's at least under my hands right now. I do need to figure out why the windows won't roll up and down. and I do need to do something with the hood at some point, but it's not a priority. Getting my BMW in here and changing the clutch is priority. So yeah, we're going drifting. We're going to Nashville Super Speedway. Today's Friday. You probably won't see this video before we go, but that's what we're going to be, you know, working toward. We've got everything loaded. The rollback's out there. So yeah, that's where I'm at. But all right, here we go. All right, we went drifting this weekend. That place, it's a little different. He loved the track. So I mean, as far as going there and he didn't think he'd like the track or whatever, he absolutely loved the track. The problem I had was being able to get in a position to really film anything, and there wasn't any good vantage points or anywhere to film unless you had a drone or something, and which we don't. So I didn't really get to film anything, and it came a typhoon. I mean, it was a horrible storm. Yeah, so we got rained out. It was about 2 o'clock or so. We ended up getting a pretty heavy downpour rain and wind, and it was pretty rough. So we got soaked, and we just drifted up until then, and then loaded up and got soaked and drove home. It's a pretty good day overall. The car stayed together. We had no issues with that. We didn't go through all of our tires. He got quite a bit of track time, and it seemed to be a good track, and he enjoyed it. So overall, it was a success. But then now we're home. This is like the next day or so. I'm working on the S14. As we got it off the rollback, it started making a noise. I've been tinkering with it, pulling at it. I think the flywheel's loose, and I've never had a flywheel come loose on anything. And this AR5 is a pain to get in and out. So I'm sitting here debating, do I go ahead and pull the AR5 back out, put it back in, try to figure out what's going on here? Or do I go ahead and start on my BMW? I don't know. Because if I tie up the lift on either one, the other one's gonna have to wait. And I really don't know which one to start on. But yeah, that's where I'm at. So I've got to pull the AR5 back out, figure out the flywheel situation. Besides that, everything seems to be okay on the car. I don't want it to, you know, flywheel be jumping around in there and cause it to spin a bearing or something where the crank's out of round or whatever jumping around. So we may end up back into the 240 again, just pulling the transmission and flywheel and clutch and stuff. So let me debate on what I'm doing here, and then we'll get started on something here today. So, all right, here we go. All right, so 100% the flywheel bolts were loose. They torqued, but what I think happened is where it was so tight in the middle, there might have been a little slack right there where it didn't like push all the way in, and it may have torqued, but it may not have pulled all the way up. And then once we run it, it might have shimmied in a little bit and threw some slack in them. But every single one of them were loose. So probably 45 minutes, hour it took me to get it out. I'm gonna take me a break, cool off a little bit, and then go to putting it back on. It's a little quicker without exhaust having to drop all that, so because we got the exhaust going up through the top. But we'll cool off a minute and try to go back in with it. This one's hard to put back in, and we gotta have some fluid to top it off with. But either way, it's out. Flywheel was loose, 100%. That's on me, whatever the cause. I did torque them, so I don't know. But all right, here we go. All right, so I got it all back together. I got the transmission in it. And now it won't go into reverse. I don't know what the problem is. It goes right to the gate of it. Just won't drop in. It goes in every gear, feels tight. Every gear clicks just fine. Just no reverse. It won't go in. It just won't drop. So now I don't know. I mean, all I did was drop transmission, put it back in. Well, I tightened the flywheel bolts. Now I don't have reverse. Maybe the shifter. I don't know. This thing's a pain. I don't know. But yeah, now I don't have reverse. But it makes a lot of cool noises. But no reverse. Alright, I'm done for today. It's 4 o'clock. I'm supposed to be at some gathering at 6 or 7 for 4th of July. I don't know. I'm done with this thing for today. So, alright, here we go.
I'm feeling high. I'm feeling